Hey everybody, welcome to our Lunch and Learn. Today is March 24th, 2020. Um, all of us are in a um, posture of self-distancing and quarantine. And so I am here at home, just taking this time though to be with you. From what I've heard from a lot of people, this is the first time where they have been um, challenged to work from home. And so I figured since I have uh, now had about 6 years of experience with working from home or working from my own private office space, I could just offer some kind of information, tips for time management and also for productivity, because it really takes a different level of discipline in order to work from home and or even your own kind of office space. Um, and so that's the objective of today's time. I won't take up too much of your time, but again, just kind of show you, um, offer you some tips for time management, productivity, and how to stay connected during this time of social distancing. Um, Thank you for joining me today. Uh, while you're here, please click that like button, click the share button, and subscribe. For those of you who are new, for more information about me and the work that I'm involved in, feel free to go to my website at Darrellrich, DAWRELLRICH, darrellrich.com. And there you'll find more information about me, more information about my work. Pretty interdisciplinary, so I won't take up the time here to talk about those things. But again, you'll find all you need there. Um, by way of introduction, let me say this, that again, for about the last 5 to 6 years, I've actually been working primarily from home. Um, uh, about 2 years ago, I did get my own office space, but so by and large, it's me in my office by myself, um, taking care of the administrative affairs that I need to take care of. And again, this that kind of working style is strikingly different from my days when I was working in corporate and being in the office, with hundreds of other people. It's just a different level of discipline and engagement you have to have in order to be productive. And so I just want to offer you 5 simple tips in order to kind of get through this time of self-distancing and while you are at home. Uh, Again, ways for you to make your time most productive. And so the first thing I want to raise is this, that I find that it is very important when working from home, you have to get dressed. Um, I noticed that works best for me. So lounging around in a t-shirt or some sweats. For me, getting up, getting dressed. You see that I have on a V-neck sweater now. Um, uh, Getting up, getting dressed as if you were going about your daily routine, as if you were about to, go out into the office. Um, of course, I'm not saying that you have to throw on a full suit, but I think it is important for you to get in the habit or stay in the habit that you typically have. And so if that is you getting up at 7:30 in the morning, to get dressed and to make ready your day, while you may not have to travel in this time, you may want to knock that down an hour or so. But essentially, you want to keep the same rhythms. You want to get up, do your personal grooming and hygiene, and you want to get dressed so that your body is physically prepared for the day, so that you're actually reminding yourself that it is in fact a work day and not a lounge day. The second thing you want to do is set up a dedicated workspace um, in your home, and that could be a corner, you know, um, just a spot where uh, you can actually spend your day. So, um, like I said, I have an office space that I typically work from, but here at home, um, I've kind of commandeered the dining room area. And so here, um, for the past week or so, I have been situating myself to do my work. Um, and what I also find is that it's not best to do your work sitting on the couch, to do your work sitting in front of the TV. These things become quite easy distractions for you. Um, even even now, like I have the TV on, but it's down very, very low, almost, inaudible. Because what you want to do is minimize any kind of distraction. Again, you want to stay in a rhythm, in a habit of productivity. And so anything that could kind of detour you or deter you, distract you, you want to minimize those things. So again, so tip number one, get up, get dressed, um, be about your daily habit as you normally would. The second tip is to identify, set up a dedicated workspace. Um, if you have the means, you want to have a computer desk and a printer, a shredder, all that kind of office equipment that you normally would have. Again, that's if you have the means. You want to make sure to have all that stuff right at your fingertips. The third tip I have is to structure your days as you would a regular workday. So typically, I get into my office around 9:30, and I actually start my day around 9:45, 10 o'clock. And I generally work until, depending upon the day, but generally work until 6 or 7:30. And so during your times of working from home, you actually want to maintain that same daily schedule. Um, and we're going to talk a little bit more about that. But whether we realize it or not, psychologically, we've actually we set up for ourselves these kind of routines, these rhythms, these habits, and during this time of self quarantine, it becomes easy to just get off track. Um, but when you structure your day as if it were a regular work day, then you keep your body and your mind in that same pace, in that same rhythm. And so again, so what you want to do is actually structure your days. If you generally work until 5 p.m., then you want to push yourself to work until 5 even while you're home. If your workday, begins at 7:30 a.m. and you work until 4 or 4:30, you want to keep that rhythm. You want to keep that habit. Um, so that's tip number 3. Number 4, something that I do that I find so very helpful is to block your time. You want to block your time. That is, you want to be a good steward of your time. So you want to schedule your day. Um, so if you go to my website, I'll have some templates up there for what blocking looks like, what time blocking looks like. And time blocking is used, I mean, from CEOs. I know Elon Musk, he uses it. And essentially this time blocking, it says, so for example, me, I wake up typically around 7:30. That's generally my time of rising. So from 7:30 until about 8:30, I know that is my grooming. I'm getting dressed, hygiene, all that. 8:30 until about 9 would typically be my breakfast. And around 9:15, I'm heading out the house. Um, and so, but I put all of this information into my Google Calendar, and there are hundreds, of other um, uh, time management apps out there. But for me, I just noticed that Google Calendar that works the best. Another great, um, another great uh, product, I'm sorry, program development tool is Asana, project development tool. So if you want to check into that as well. But the point is to block your time. So on a typical workday, again, from 10 to about 1 o'clock, I've structured my time to work on things related to my PhD, things related to doctoral studies. Uh, and then I take a break at 1 o'clock. And so from 1 to 2, I am, you know, taking my break. And then from 2 on, I'm tackling some other things pertaining to more entrepreneurial endeavors. Um, this time blocking, what it does psychologically is really kind of it causes you to have to do an abrupt stop. So from, like I said, from about 10 until 1 o'clock, I'm working on doctoral work. Um, I know that at 1 o'clock I have to stop this. Like mid sentence, mid thought, it's 1 o'clock. My alarm goes off, and boom, like I have to shift. Because when you're working from home, it becomes easy for you to just kind of, fall into this trap of laissez-faire and, oh, I got time. I'm going to lay down for a minute. Let me just take a 30-minute nap. But again, no, what you want to do is actually maintain the rhythms that you normally have. And it's okay for you to do those other things. It's okay for you to take, a 15-minute kind of break, or, a 10-minute nap. That's fine. But even that, if you can, you want to block that on your calendar. While we are self-quarantining, self-distancing, this becomes the best time for you to practice this kind of blocking. So that even as we, transition out of this time back into, quote, regular work days and regular life, you'll have this system in place that would be very helpful. So again, you want to block your time. And in blocking your time, this should include your lunch break. This should include any kinds of, stretch breaks. Be mindful that you want to get up, you want to move, feel free to move about the cabin. Like you do want to give your body and your mind a break from staring at your screen all day. But this blocking will help you to really take care of the business that you need to take care of at hand and shift to the next thing. So that's the fourth tip. And finally, the fifth tip is this: you want to sign off. If your typical workday ends at 6 o'clock, if your typical workday ends at 7:30, whatever time your workday ends, while you're working from home, you want to end your workday around that same time. Again, because working from home requires a different discipline, it's easy for us to become laissez-faire and to kind of just freelance it and all that other stuff. You want to maintain your same rhythms. And so again, most days I end my time around 6:30, but I teach on Mondays and Wednesdays, which means that my day ends at 7:30. And so right now, while we're self-quarantining, I still have those classes that I have to teach, and so my students and we're online from 5 until about 7:30. Again, just maintaining those rhythms, that's going to be really important for you. So I'm just going to do a quick recap on this. Number one, the first thing you want to do during this time of self-distancing, during this time of working from home, for many of you who are new to this, is you want to get up. You want to get dressed. You want to get yourself ready as if you would for a normal work day. Number two, you want to set up a dedicated workspace. You really don't want to work on your couch or, in front of the TV, and especially not while you're in the bed. Don't do it. Number three, you want to structure your days as if you normally would. Again, so if you wake up 7:30, you still want to get up around that time. If your day generally begins, or your workday generally begins around 9:30, you want to be sitting down in that dedicated workspace around that time. The fourth thing is you want to block your time. You want to block out time for phone calls. You want to block out time to check your email. You want to block out time for specific projects. Like, now comes the time where you have to be a good steward of your time. And then lastly, you want to know when to sign off. You want to know when to end your day and go about the rest of your evening with your family. Um, time spent then watching TV, handling kind of more of those other personal affairs. So for more information, please feel free to go to my website, darrellrich.com. Check us out there. There'll be some resources there, some tools for you to use also. For all of you who are interested, feel free to join us. On Tuesday morning, we have a time of empowerment. Tuesday and Thursday mornings at 7 a.m. We have a time of empowerment where we empower our day. All that information is also on the website. And so we have some other things that we'll be rolling out. But for today, I just wanted to assist you all with, again, time management, remaining productive while in a time of social distancing and isolation. So hope this has been helpful for you. I'd love to hear from you. Feel free to subscribe here on YouTube as well as on the website. So again, knowing when to sign off, boom, it's 12:17. Got to sign off. So take care. Be well.